Okay, we are live, I think. Do something if you can hear me, like dance. No. Okay. Tell me, please, if you can hear me okay and if you can see okay. こんばんは。Okay, so I will switch now to my camera. I'm doing a really small stream because I want to test one thing. I have a new setup. I have a small keyboard here, like this keyboard, and when I press the button, you can probably see my palette and my water tank. So to show you how I mix the paint and to show you how I kind of clean my brush here and what I do here, I have a button that I can press and change the camera. Yay! So I'll just do a really quick sketch to test this setup, and if it goes okay, I'll probably use it in some of my longer streams. So I have my sketchbook here, and this is the City of Waves sketchbook that I have for doing like sketches for the project. And I have a really rough sketch of a house here that I want to kind of do again and clean up a little bit. And as a reference, I'm using this book. So kind of simple style picture. Okay, let's go. And this will be a house that's like on a hill. So we have a hill and maybe not so steep, but whatever. And we have some houses like this. And I want to figure out how a house like this would look. So I'll just do a really rough kind of a sketch. Let's say something like, where's my eraser? This is a really small eraser. Okay. So there's like a floor thing, and the building will be kind of like this high. Okay. And something like a box that is like this, and the hill will be like here and here, so the ground level goes like this, and let's make it a street here. So we have a flat surface here, and there'll also be like a street here, so a flat surface here. Okay, and this goes one story up here and will end in a roof of some kind. I don't know, whatever. I'm just kind of concepting it as I go. Maybe a little bit lower, like here. Okay. So here's like the street level 1, and here is like the street level 2, and there's like a one story here. Maybe let's do a small kind of a basement like this. And because there's like a hill here, we'll have to make like a support thingy here so that the building does not kind of collapse on us. Let's maybe make it longer a bit, like this. This is kind of what I mean when you ask me about perspective. It's like, what should you learn to kind of be good at drawing like buildings and stuff. It's like the ability of drawing boxes in perspective is really indispensable. Okay. So I have this kind of thing here, so I know the size of things more or less. I'll just erase the things that I don't need. Okay, and let's start kind of imagining what the building will be inside. I want to make it a kind of Japanese style building. So let's say this is the front first floor, like this, and there's like a second floor, and there's like a half a floor here, and a roof that will go, let's say, like this. So it's like this kind of narrow houses in Japan. So we need a kind of a staircase somewhere here. So if we have entrance here, and we go like to the back, here is the back wall, and we also need an entrance from the top level because here is also a road. You can see buildings like this in Japan a lot because they have a lot of hills everywhere. So sometimes they have like just entrances on the second and the first floor, and there's a road here. Okay, and there's a road here. Okay. Hi to everyone. Do I have any tips for sketching? If you know how to do boxes or like really simple shapes like this, it's easy to kind of figure out the rest. Okay, so we need stairs. Okay, let's put stairs here. There are really steep staircases in Japan, so I feel kind of confident that I can do things like this. Steep and narrow, that's the way. Okay, so let's make this part here like a concrete support. I'll take a thicker pencil. This is the Kohinoor Mephisto, which is the diabolic pencil. It actually says Mephisto here. Okay, so I'll do really like thick lines with this. Okay. So this is like the concrete wall that will be supporting the hill so it does not collapse. And there's a second one here. Let's just put it like this for now. And I have some stairs here. This is more of a sketch for me to understand what I want to do with this. And let's say there's like a floor here. Okay. And it has like this kind of thingies. So it looks like it actually can support something. And there's like the basement. And here's the road. Let's make it like this. And there's also a road here. Let's make it nice and thick. Okay. Okay, so let's now kind of do the front of the thing. So we have the base level here, And let's make a nice, I don't know, like a step here. Okay, and maybe one more. And like a small, I don't know, I have to learn all the names of the architectural elements of like fronts of stores. It's like one of my main jobs is to do like storefronts. I made a book about them, but I still don't know how all the things are called properly. So I always call them like, oh, the wooden thingy here, or the like the window, the thing you have above the window that is like divided in four or like something. So I think I have to learn them the names properly. Okay, let's make this different. Let's make the doors like a sliding doors. This is a Japanese kind of building, so maybe longer. Okay, and this will be kind of until here. And we have sliding doors here. Let's say that we have 3 of them. So we have like this kind of thing. Okay, and should be divided in the middle. You can put a lamp here. So I'll just erase this part and put a lamp, like lamp. Okay. And maybe like a small roof that you can extend. So something like this maybe. Okay. And there should be like a bar here, and I don't know, maybe like this. Let's say that this is like a case that you put stuff in it to show to the people that pass. Okay. Is it drawing distracting while I do live? A little bit. If I try to answer too much questions and just don't concentrate on what I'm doing, then maybe. But the speaking part of my brain and the drawing part of my brain is a different part, I think. So it's distracting, but not so much, I think. And this is an electric eraser. It spins. The end is spinning, so it's kind of nice for erasing lines. Even when I do them like really thick, I can erase them without a problem. Okay, so let's put a shadow kind of thing here. And this is a basement. Let's say because it's a basement, there'll be like a lot of boxes kind of in the basement. So okay, let's put some boxes here and some boxes here, like storage space. Okay, so usually in a shop like this there will be like a display window, but first, like when you go in, there's like 2 levels of floor. So there is like the level of floor that you can go in with your shoes on, and there will be like tatami mats kind of from here. So let's do this, and let's put the stairs edge like here. I don't know, just let's do it like this. This is just a kind of a sketch, so random stairs. I don't know. It's kind of Escher-like thing. Okay. So we have the ground level here. And okay, so this part, this vertical part goes up until here, and then it has to go, it has to connect like here. So I'll just erase here and add this. Okay, this should have some like support here, like a beam or something, so I'll just draw here something like, okay. And we have the edge like here. And there should be like a window, but first probably the name of the store. So let's make it like this. Okay. And probably a window here. So it has the Japanese amado, so there's like a storm shutters stowaway place on both sides of the window, so here. And let's make like a small fence kind of thing. I don't know how they call it. Ledge? No, not ledge. See, I have to learn all the names of this stuff. Okay. Like this. And the window will be kind of here. Let's make it divided in 3, and let's make one part of the window that's open, like half open. So it's like here and here. So this part is open, we can see it like inside. Okay. And there's like another part here. Okay, and let's say that this is kind of a like a storage space thing. We have a beam again here. Okay, and this goes like here, and we should have like a thing also here. Maybe this is too narrow. Okay. I'm not doing great. I cannot say to people stuff I draw. Now I'm drawing the window, and I'm drawing the next thing like next to the window. There are proper names for things, and it's nice to kind of know them. Especially that I'm thinking about making a book with proper kind of building designs that your everyday Japanese person that would like to build a nice new house or a nice new shop would kind of use to kind of take inspiration from. So I have to make things properly, but if I don't know the names, I cannot even search in the internet on how this thing should actually look like. So yeah, it kind of makes some problems of its own. Okay, so I want to make the roof kind of half not transparent, but see-through, so we can kind of see how the roof looks like. And so let's make it like this, and I want to make it like the Kawara roof, so the roof from tiles. So let's make some like nice tiles here. Okay, and like this. And let's make a nice beam here and some beams inside that go like here. Okay, and like this, and maybe like this. I don't know, I have to learn about how do you make like a roof beams inside of a Japanese house. It's a part that you never see actually, because they always have like a plate that covers it up. But it would be good to kind of learn how how it's done. Okay, and we will have a kind of secondary exit here, so I'll just make some doors, like sliding doors here, so there's like a small landing thing. Probably it's not a good idea to just go in here and go downstairs like immediately, so maybe let's make the doors like in the middle, like here-ish. Okay, so but we have floor here, so there's no go. Okay, so this is like a floor, and let's make a small window here also. So let's just repeat the window from below like this. Not in the middle. So probably on a shop like this, they would have the family crest kind of in the middle here. So let's just draw something like this, and there's like a name of the shop. I don't know, I cannot write kanji without looking at something, so let's just make something up. かなちゃん、店の名前なんか作ってくれる？4漢字が必要。なんかここ左右。
何屋さん？
うん、何屋さんかな。お酒屋さんとかなんかそういう感じかな。
バ屋さん。
Okay. Okay, so this is how this looks, and let's say that this wall here is also like this is all ground, so let's kind of mark it, and this is the line of the ground here. Okay, so let's color this. So you can see my watercolors. I'm using here the set that's based on the Miyazaki watercolors I showed you in one of the videos. So let's just really quickly color this. I have tried gouache and I have tried the paints that Japanese background artists use, so the how do you call it, poster colors, and I like them. I like how you can just add and add and add details, and you don't have to think about like the order in which you have to paint so much. Of course, a little bit, but not so much. You can paint more or less what you want, and add details later, even if there are like light details on dark background. So I like this aspect a lot, but I prefer actually how do you call it, acrylic gouache. So gouache that gets waterproof after it's dry. And I like this a lot. And it's different from regular just acrylic paint because it's matte after it's dry, so it does not have the kind of sheen that just regular acrylic has. Okay, I'll add a little bit more paint here, some black. Okay.
清澄坂店って
いいよ。
真ん中に「ま」って書いてある。
あ、大丈夫。適当なのでこれは。あ、置いといて。ありがとう。あ、そうか。I forgot I forgot to change the camera. I still have to get used to this. I'm using a Moleskine art notebook, which is not the best for watercolors, but also not the worst that you can get. But I don't think it's so good for watercolors. Let's quickly add a window here. How long does it take for me to do one drawing? Depends on the drawing. Sorry for the obvious, but it takes me, like, I can do a sketch like this like in an hour or half an hour or something like that. But for a longer painting, it can take me up to like 2-3 days to finish a watercolor painting. I don't think I had a watercolor painting that took me longer than 3 days to finish. Like even the bigger backgrounds I did for the Carolina animation did not took me more than 3 days. So anywhere from an hour to 3 days. What was my process of doing backgrounds in Kimi no Na? It was kind of hard. We got because I was just part of the team, we had some concept arts that were done by the backgrounds director and directors, because there were like three of them, one main one, but yeah. So we had some concept arts. We knew kind of what style we are aiming for because of those concept arts, and they also do something that's called honban bodo. So that's concept art that can be used in the final video. So they just paint a background that is at the same time a concept art and can be used in the final movie, so it does not go to waste. So we take a scene, we get a scene that has some like two concept arts done by the directors, and then we kind of know what we are aiming for with the content. So we are not kind of left just you have this sketch and do it. So we have some like references, we have some photos that are either of the real places that this background is based on, or are of some similar places that the team just went and did some photos in some places to get some reference photos. And we have to paint the thing that we have in the layout. So an animator is painting a layout that goes to the next animation stage and also goes to the background artist, so we get the same kind of sketch that we start from, and we get briefed by the background director. So he or she tells us like, okay, this is a cut that is like this and like this, and the sun goes from here, and you have to paint this and this and use kind of this kind of color scheme, and this is like some examples that you can work from. And so we kind of know what we are aiming for, and then we go and we paint. And usually a background took me about 2 days more or less to do for Kimi no Na. So it's similar to painting with watercolors, I guess. The backgrounds were not painted over photos. We took some photos in places that we could take photos, like Shinjuku and Tokyo, for reference. But because when you paint over photos, the painted thing always has kind of the same lens, so it kind of inherits the lens kind of feeling that you took the photo with. So it's better to just take reference photos and then sketch the background from like zero by yourself, and that's what we did. In some cases they used photos as like a sketch thing, because like really detailed Shinjuku, so Tokyo backgrounds were like deadly to do, and I did some of them, so I was lucky. But like 99% of the time the background is painted over just a sketch that the animators do. So about my education in Japan. I don't know because when I came to Japan, I was already a university student, so I went straight to Japanese university, Kobe Design University. First, the Kobe University, where I learned some basic Japanese, and then Kobe Design University. So I don't know so much about the Japanese educational system and how it works. So when I was first in the Japanese university, I was a research student, so I could participate in any classes that I wanted from the undergraduate. So I did, and I was kind of surprised how much work they do. Like they went and painted like a lot of comics because most of them were manga students. So they painted like day and night all the time, and you could see like stacks and stacks of like manga paper everywhere that just people were doing like sketches and they called it name, so the roughs, like storyboards for comics, and they showed it to the professor, and the professor goes, good, okay, next. So they were always like drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing, and the students from the animation department is also the same thing. And because I was not so good in Japanese at that point, it was really kind of hard to get into this environment. So I was kind of left alone to do just my stuff and the thing I was interested in. So I was kind of in, but also kind of outside at the same time. I kind of regret that I was not able to kind of infiltrate this environment a little bit better. But after just half a year of Japanese language course, it's not so easy to just start and go to the university to study. I use a tape. I use the tape that's made by a company that's called Nitto, and I like it actually very much because it's nice and does not harm paper so often. It does it sometimes, but most of the times it's okay. Okay, so I'm pressing my magic button, and you can see what I'm doing here with the watercolors. I think it's a nice solution, but sometimes I forgot to press the button to get back to the picture. If you are in Japan and if you are in Tokyo, I will have a signing event at the Kinokuniya main store this Sunday, so 25th, Saturday, Sunday, yes, 25th. And I'll be signing the Tokyo Storefront's book. So if you have a book already bought or you want to buy a book and you can come, then you can come and just buy the book there, and I will sign it and do a little drawing in it. So a little bit mirroring here so we can see that it's the floor. And I want to make this part here darker a little bit. I will use black. I rarely use black, but for sketches like this it's okay, I think. And there's the like a storage room, so I'll just paint it like darker color. How do you keep yourself motivated and inspired to keep drawing? Have you ever had an art block? I am in the middle of the biggest art block I ever had, to be honest. It may not look like this, but I am. I perfectly know why it is, because I finished Yuragi and I finished Tokyo Storyfronts, and I have no like immediate project that I can just focus on and do stuff. So I have to figure out new things, and figuring new things is the kind of most creative thing that you have to do. So it takes brain power and energy, and you have to think about things. So it's easier to kind of sit in front of your desk every day, and it's like, okay, I have the next page of my comic, I'll just do this page today and I'm free. But if you have to figure out what you have to do next in your kind of career, it's really hard and painful. So you can say that I have like an art block right now. So what I do is like try to paint and motivate myself with things that I kind of know how to do, and I kind of feel confident, let's say. So I do like sketches for mine and Kana's City of Waves project, like this one, or go to a library and go through interesting random books and do some sketches from them, or go outside. But most of the times I try to do something that's useful for me. So if I have a really like intensive art block and really cannot just force myself to do anything, I update my website, I update my Gumroad stuff, I do a new tutorial, I do a new video, something that I can just put my hands to work and I don't have to think too much to make it. But yeah, there comes the time that I just have to sit and paint something because my publisher requires me to do a cover or something. So even if you have art block, there's just work to be done, and if you are a professional, you just go through it and there's nothing more to it actually. So it's hard sometimes, but there's no like definite answer that I can give you, like, okay, just bang your head on the table 10 times and it helps. I know I tried it and it does not help. So okay, so let's add some letters. I'm sorry for the sudden dark turn. I'm okay. It's just really hot in Japan right now, so it's kind of hard to stay indoors in the air conditioned room all the time because it's so hot that if you go to the kitchen and we don't have air conditioning in the kitchen, you want to kind of just go back immediately. So we have been spending a lot of time just working and doing stuff, and in the evening playing Monster Hunter. So if you play Monster Hunter, yes, I'm rank 14. Okay. Nah, that was just like a parable or something like that. It's like it does not matter how much you kind of hate yourself for the time you lose doing nothing. Um, so it's better to just start doing something that you don't feel hate towards at this moment. I started playing Monster Hunter because Kana likes the game and she bought it for her PlayStation. And I kind of liked it. So I bought myself also a copy so we can play together. And it's awesome. Do you have any personal fantasy projects? This is kind of a fantasy project. Because the city of Waves is a city that does not exist. It's based on kind of Japanese setting, but it's not a real place. So we are kind of exploring with Kana city building, fantasy city building kind of thing. It came out from one of my old projects because I used this setting for one of my old projects that did not come through anywhere, so I just shelved it. And but I liked the setting, the city, which is on a hill, so I wanted to kind of explore it more. So we started to do it together with Kana. So this is like a fantastic city that does not exist, but we wanted to do it more or less because the city that we live in, the place we live in, is really nice because we live like next to Enoshima, which is a nice like touristic spot island. But the buildings that we see around are not really designed properly. So there is a lot of cheap family houses being built right now in Japan. So we want to kind of explore a city, how it would look like if maybe there was no so many earthquakes in Japan. So you could build something and it would stay there for longer. There are a lot of buildings in Japan that have to be torn down because of the earthquake regulations. So we wanted to kind of explore a city that is kind of a fantastic city you would see probably in a Ghibli movie or something like that. So we wanted to paint something, we wanted to explore a city like this. So we started researching cities that are like on a hill, and how places like this look. I don't like this color. Let's make it lighter. Can I make it like maybe? So we want to do like fantasies, realistic fantasy Japanese city setting exploration project kind of thing, which is this thing. And Kana also will make some characters, and we will make probably a short comic maybe in this setting, or a short animation that will be a trailer for this project. And if it kind of satisfies us, if we think that, oh, this looks good, then maybe we will make it into like a book or something in the future. But that's still like way in the future, I think. Not so way, but still nothing really concrete. So we just kind of give ourselves time with this project. So probably while I'm doing a next comic or whatever, I'll be just pushing this setting further and further, and maybe do some nice backgrounds, do some nice illustrations, make a short animation. So this is a fantastic fantasy. You could say that it's a fantasy thing. Hey everyone, how are you feeling today? Is it okay? Is it a nice day? Are you cool or are you hot? We are kind of cool because we are next to the air conditioning unit and fan. You may be able to hear it like in the distance going like, but yeah, I don't know how thick it is. You will have to check in the internet. Just look for Moleskine Art Plus series sketchbook. You'll find the information you're looking for, like a Jedi. This is not the watercolor sketchbook you're looking for. It's not really nice. It's kind of okay. これは君が探してる水彩スケッチブックではない。そんなにいい紙じゃないから。ジェダイパワーちょっと使ってみて。Okay, so I wanted to buy a second camera, but I was told by Kana just to use the things that I have. So I tried to repurpose my webcam that I was usually using for like web conferences and stuff, and it has a really wide angle. It's like 10 centimeters from the palette, so it's an interesting kind of solution. The quality of the image is not good enough to use it as a main camera for my paintings, but it's enough to just show you how I mix colors and how I pick colors from my palette. Please have a painting video where you always tell the name combination of the colors before painting. I have 50 colors in my main palette. That would take a little bit time for me to remember all of the names. I remember some of them, but not all of them. I use a lot of colors in my paintings because I just want to get fast the color I'm aiming for. Okay. Okay, so kind of like this. I'll dry it. There was a mute button on the mic. This one? Okay, for the blue colors I use Prussian blue and ultramarine a lot. In my mindset that I have here, I use the helio turquoise also a lot because it's a nice kind of in between color with a little bit of green probably in it. I use this a lot. I use the mountain blue also for making grays. This is a nice kind of light blue color. Yeah, but Prussian blue I think, and ultramarine, I would say like the ultramarine here, but I use this one a lot also. Yes. Okay, so I'll just add some black lines here. What I will use for this? Okay, let's use this. Okay, so I'll use the Staedtler Mars Lumograph pencil. I think, yeah. I was going to say it will break on the first. It always breaks. Okay. Yes, I used only one kind of largish brush on this. It's number 10. From the usual Raphael brushes, I use the soft aqua ones. This is just like a sketch kind of thing, so I don't want to put like too many details here. I really like these pencils because they are really kind of more similar to a black crayon, not crayon, black coloring pencil, color pencil, that than a regular pencil. So they don't smudge so much after you close the sketchbook, and they don't have the regular pencil sheen to them, the graphite kind of sheen. So I like them a lot. But they break. Did it hit? 当たった？今割れて当たったと思った。 Okay, something like this, I guess. I don't know, this is just like a quick sketch. I wanted to try this thing and it seems to work okay. I'll probably use it in a longer stream I'll be doing sometime in the future. And let's add like a nice kind of texture thing to the ground here, like this, and I think this one is okay. Okay, so thank you for participating in this kind of weird sketchy thing. This is a part of my sketchbook that I have for a project that's called City of Waves, and I'm still doing like concept sketching for this project. Answering your question, no, there is no planned Yuragi print right now. Still not popular enough to kind of get the resources or anyone to kind of publish it on paper. So I'm sorry, but there will be no version planned. There is no version planned. Let's make the letters here. Okay. Okay, so I think that's it. Another page in my sketchbook done. Thank you for being here. This was just a test of this setup, so I hope you liked this kind of sketch that I did, even though I was not planning it actually. So that's it for today, and let's see you in the next. I will see you in the next video on my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me, and see you next time.